Spending a night on a railway station. Everyone in the forces, one time or the other, has spent the night waiting for a train. And it's quite a lonely feeling that you don't look forward to again. But it's a certainty that sooner or later, because of its central location, you'll finish up on the biggest of them all, Crewe Station. It's common knowledge that the train you've arrived on is already many hours late, and your connection has long since gone, so you've no alternative but to wait. Smoke hangs heavily up in the rafters, and noisy engines echo out their sound. Specks of soot float aimlessly, and dirty pigeons fly around. The platforms are crowded with service people, all trying to pass the many hours ahead, each withdrawn to their own private thoughts of home sweet home and that clean warm bed. You head up to the congested canteen for a refreshing cup of tea, and after a long queue you receive it in a jar, and it's as weak as you'll ever see. You find a vacant spot to sit on your pack and try to get a few hours sleep. But counting trucks and trains and uniforms isn't the same as counting sheep. With dawn approaching, here comes your train, but it's far too crowded for a seat. So you'll leave exactly the way you arrived, by standing on your feet. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Quickly.
You said we've been doing this for about 2 weeks now, and we're about halfway done.
Halfway.
Do you have any thoughts on the poems we've read so far?
No, not really.
You were sharing out there in the living room that you thought some of them that they were all sad. None of them were happy.
Yeah, none of them are happy. No.
Why do you think that is?
Just wasn't a happy time.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I lived in Silvertown, the first area to be bombed. My little household of 24 homes, they were all wiped out, but the bulk of them had death. You know, I'd left them. I was already in the Air Force, age 17 I was, and I'd gone home after the raid took place, and that's what it was, all death. And from here on, it was all death. You know, not all death. There was little. It's as though whoever works it out kind of give you a few little spots to keep you going, the ladies and beer and things like that. But overall, there's nothing cheerful about being in the war.
Mm. Right. So you didn't have like great triumphs? Any great victories that you felt?
No, not really. No. My bombing. If you can imagine, I'm just talking about the Royal Air Force bombing.
Mm-hmm.
The second half. First half we took a beating, but the second half it came around the other way. We had two big, great planes, the Halifax and Lancaster, and the could carry immense bomb load, 14,000 pounds. Bombs, 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One plane, and there's 400 of us. You know, in fact, in part of 6 months of 1944, we let all the other places go and just bomb Berlin. So if you imagine that, and what we would do also was that if we were giving them a break one night or two nights, we'd send in the Mosquito aircraft, a very fast aircraft, with just a couple of little bombs, and just fly around Berlin and these cities for a half an hour, and the planes, the fighter couldn't catch them, and they dropped their bombs just to keep the Berliners awake. So we didn't want to even give them a night's sleep. So just little things that, no, it was no good. You know, I was lucky to come out of it, and that's, you know, there you go.
So you followed your orders, but you weren't like particularly proud of it?
We were proud that we were beating them up type thing, you know. But I mean, we had German prisoners. We'd be playing them soccer in the afternoon, you know, on a field somewhere, and that night we'd be bombing their cities. But they did the same. I had no excuse. Of my little street, little friendly little people, you know, people I grew up with, wiped out. The whole area was wiped out, Silvertown, and it was. How could I ever forgive them for that? Couldn't. I just couldn't. Although on that point, there was a lot. We had men flying also who came from the Midlands area. I'd never heard a bomb or anything. And they resented our style of bombing, although they were doing it with us. But, you know, some guys are like that. You know, good thinking, I guess. And, you know, different places we bombed. And they would resent when we were getting ready at the briefing room, there'd be a lot of bad feeling generated between my crew and another crew who didn't like the idea of bombing Berlin continuously. I relished it. Right?
All right.
That's how it can change you, I guess.